Hello everyone, I'm Brofi1322 and this video serves as an update to my fastest fully upgraded car series where I take all vehicles in GTA 5 around a circuit to find the best to use for racing. If you want to know how all cars perform in a variety of different classes and formats, check the annotation on the screen or the link in the description for the full playlist of videos, and of course feel free to subscribe for future updates. But otherwise, let's get straight into seeing how the vehicles from the Festive Update 2015 compared to their counterparts. And first up, we've actually got a vehicle that isn't part of this update, and that is the Police Rancher. Now, I've tested a lot of different vehicles throughout this series, and a lot of them are vehicles that you can't normally access. If any of you are new to this series, you can have a look in the playlist specifically for the sort of fastest emergency vehicles, fastest rare vehicles videos. There's a lot of vehicles. I've basically tested every single vehicle in the entire game at this point. And the Police Rancher is basically one that I missed. It gets a 126.4, which isn't that great. It's exactly the same as a Rancher XL, but it can't be upgraded under normal circumstances. So that's why I've decided to finally put it in. It is a separate vehicle. It does have its own separate line of code and its own separate name. So that's why I finally decided to include it. But ultimately, it is pretty much identical to the Rancher XL, but obviously without upgrades. So next up, we've got a helicopter, and this is the Super Velito helicopter from the Executives DLC. So first up, this video is sort of catching up on loose ends from the Executives DLC that I didn't originally test. And again, you know, I've already tested all of the helicopters in the game, so again, there is a video for that if you check the playlist, similar to all of the other vehicles in the entire game. The Super Velito is the third best helicopter in the game. It's actually not too bad. It gets a lap time of 55.4, which is about a second slower than the two Swifts. It's not too bad at all. The carbon version of the Super Velito is exactly the same as the regular version, so there's no performance difference there between the two. But yeah, not too bad. Third best helicopter in the game. Now in second place for this DLC in terms of the cars is the turreted limo. This gets a lap time of 1 minute 20.9, which makes it the 23rd best sedan in the game. But it's based off a previous vehicle from GTA 4 basically, and it would be nice to have the non-turreted version of this car because it drives really well and it's quite a nice car to drive, taking it around the corners, all that kind of stuff. I quite enjoyed taking it out and testing it, so it would be nice to have this car without the turreted version just to be able to store it and upgrade it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, because it's got a big turret on the top, it's never going to be that quick around a track anyway. Now, first place for this DLC is obviously the Tampa. What kind of lap time does it get? Well, it's not too bad for the muscle cars class. It puts it around the Phoenix, Stallion, Sabre Turbo area in terms of pace, and it does actually feel very similar to a Sabre Turbo. It has good levels of traction. It's quite stable as well. It's a very nice car to drive, I would say. The problem with it is that it doesn't have all that much general straight line speed, and you'll see when I do the top speed testing, obviously for those of you who don't know, I do have a separate series where I test only top speed as well for all of the cars. When you see that for the Tampa, you'll see why it gets the lap time that it does. If it was a little bit more powerful, if it had a little bit better top speed, it would really be a very good car to use. But ultimately, at this point, it is about 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds off the pace of the top muscle car in the game. The muscle cars class is very well balanced at the moment. It's very close. There's a lot of cars in very close proximity. So I would say that you could probably use the Tampa in certain situations and be competitive with it, especially in more tight, twisty tracks. I don't know, maybe the Blade would still beat it in that respect, but it is a car that can be used, and certainly in terms of regular races, the muscle cars class is one of the least accessible in terms of how difficult it is to drive, so the Tampa is a viable option, but ultimately it isn't quite on the pace of the top muscle cars in the game. Again, if you want to check what those are, click the link in the description for the playlist and you'll be able to see all of the cars all tested, all fully, and you can compare the lap times there. So thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know all your thoughts on the vehicles that we've seen in this video down below. I really appreciate it, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching and all of the support that you show as always, and I'll see you next time.